Okay, people. August 17th, 2017, 9:30 in the morning here. If you look, this is my email. The last email that I got from Fraser Health was the day before court. Okay? We had court on August 15th, and as you can see, they sent me an email on the 14th trying to tell me that I had court. They were reminding me. That's what that email was about. But I want to show you something here. Somebody made a comment on my channel, on my backup channel video, I'll go to jail. Right? This person, I don't know who it is. Anyway, I approved it. You can see it's been posted. But for some reason, it's not posting on the video page, right? Anyway, this person says, don't understand why you signed anything for them. First of all, people, I was under a lot of pressure because this Masters was impatient with me. This Masters was mocking me, right? Told me that I had a freebie in terms of the amendment and that no judge was going to read my notice of claim as is, and that I needed to go back to school if I couldn't discern between material facts and how to apply those material facts to the allegations. Okay? And I tried to explain to the judge that at this point, I'm just going in circles if I try to rewrite an amendment, okay, for whatever reason, because it's so complicated in terms of 74 infractions under the Criminal Code of Canada and many infractions under their rules and regulations through their acts and their mandates, right? Whether it's the Community Living Act, the Power of Attorney Act, right, and so on and so on. So anyway, this person says, where you say the judge signed would make the paper not legal. If you would have not signed, it sounds like you would have been better off. Well, obviously, I agree. This was done on purpose. It was pre-queued, people, because she had everything in order in terms of he'd mumble something and she said, oh, well, as a matter of fact, I have that, Your Honor. And then she would pass over the paper. And then he would mumble something again and she said, oh, as a matter of fact, Your Honor, I have that too. So in light of that, I think it was kind of like either like they've been doing it for so long, they know what they're doing, right? And I mean, this is the healthcare system that I get, people. This is why I don't go to the doctors, okay? Because when I go, I'm telling you, my file is already flagged just by the way I'm treated, okay? Not so much per se by my family doctor, but if I go outside of my family doctor into other areas of the healthcare system, I don't necessarily feel like I'm being treated fairly in light of what's been going on. And being that I've taken it this far, I'm petrified, okay? And it's not that I don't need to go, people, because I need to go, okay? Anyway, hold on a minute. So, let's go back to a different page. Now, this is the same thing, okay? I'm going to bring up another one. I'm going to show you how it's not posting. Now, this is either YouTube censoring, which YouTube does. YouTube censors my channel. They've been censoring my channel ever since Uncle John went missing, for whatever reason, okay? And then, or it's this person that's posting and then removing their post. Okay, so I'm going to click on the video you're going to watch. Let's see if her comment comes up. See? Oh, there it is. Okay, because I approved it, that should be no longer there. So I approved it, okay? But if you look here, nothing. Look here, nothing. Click on that, nothing. if you look here, let's refresh the page. See, maybe it was just YouTube lagging. Maybe it was just YouTube lagging, because sometimes that yeah, do you see? Do you see the post, people? I don't see the post. Oh, wait, that's a different video. That's not the video that we want. That's not the video that we want. We want the backup channel video. Let's see if it posted again. Okay. Well, anyway, it is or it isn't. Anyway, this person, you can see, I've approved it. So if it's not showing and you're sincere about your post, it's not my fault. That would be YouTube, a glitch, or they're purposely censoring. So let's get back to the subject here, okay? Because I've got walnuts to do, people. I'm doing them for my grandson. It's a food source, whatever. So, and I've got to get out in the yard, and I've got to get out into the basement, and I'm not feeling very well. So, but back to this. I got hoodwinked. This was done on purpose. It was done so quickly, and it was undone under duress. In other words, and this lawyer for this Fraser Health, she pointed. She said, "You sign here," and she pointed. The next time I go to court, I'm putting 4 feet distance away from them, because when I first went up to the desks, I kind of stood close to her because I didn't know what to do, people. That's what it was, okay? I stood too close to her, and she took advantage of that because she knew in advance that she was kind of going to try and make it where she was going to remove my signature from these things that she was putting forward from the judge. So in other words, they can go and they can put something forward in front of the judge, and because they're already speculating that I'm going to move or I'm irresponsible or hold on a minute. Okay. I guess this is how I'm going to start my day. I'll go convert this after I'm done with this. And then I'm going to go and work on the walnuts, because I've been taking Andre walnut picking, because this might be the last year that these trees are here, people. And we'll never see them again. It will be a very, very long time before my grandson ever sees black walnut trees and English walnut trees. Okay? And never mind us getting a natural food source that has no preservatives on it, in addition to all the walnut ink powder that I'm collecting and whatnot, and the wood that I'm collecting from these trees. So I'm thinking about my grandson's future in terms of Andre's walnut art, and quite possibly as he gets older, he may even plant a walnut grove. Okay? So, back to Fraser Health. Now, this is indicative of how they treat their patients. Okay? Because what happened in court on the 15th, today is the 17th of August, what happened in court on August 15th was, well, obviously she was prepared. She had her 3 orders or 4 orders, because all I said, I only got the copy of the one. I think it was only 3, but they were going a little too fast for me because, first of all, I was overwhelmed. That is the first time I have ever been in that situation where I have had to step up to a table and represent myself in court under pressure with being attacked, via through the city of Surrey with the whip on my back for a period of 6 weeks, right? As $15,000 threats are being thrown my way, with the possibility of eviction for the second time since Uncle John's gone missing, because somebody doesn't want me talking about this stuff. Okay? Whether it's talking about Uncle John as an individual or talking about what's going on in our society in terms of exploiting the elderly for their assets, regardless of what those assets are. But houses is a main factor to fuel this corruption within our corporations today. Because of the baby boomers, people. It's the baby boomers. If there was no baby boomers, if there wasn't a surplus of tens of thousands of baby boomers that can easily be picked off, and tricked, just like I was tricked in the courthouse to sign. Because she said, I was reading it. They gave me the order, right? I had 30 days to do the amendment, 60 days from that 30-day, after that 30-day point, to come up with the list of the documents, right? I was supposed to sign it. I was trying to read it with my dollar store glasses that I can't see with as well as I used to, people. As my PSI or whatever you call that, pressure in the eyes, is more than likely over 50, because I can feel it, people. Which, if I go to an eye specialist, will tell me it's an emergency situation and I should go to an emergency. But I won't do that, people, because we know how I'm going to be treated. We know how I've been treated. So, okay. I'm trying to read it, right? And the judge is fidgeting, and he's already been curt to me, like I'm the worst enemy of the state. Okay? As my children are in the back with small children, and she's like, sign here, and she points. So I see that, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to read it first. And he's like mumbling, the judge is mumbling, the master's is mumbling. And I'm like, okay. So I sign it. And then, again, they start talking between themselves. He says something. She goes, oh, well, as a matter of fact, I have it. Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, something like that. She acknowledges that whatever he was asking, she already had it. So she puts forward another order for him to approve, so that they can communicate with me somehow, some way, with something through email. And she specifically states, maybe because she might move. Okay. And then, wasn't satisfied with that. He mumbles something again, and she goes, oh, well, yeah, actually, I have another one. It was all prearranged, people. It was all pre-planned. Whether it's because they're so familiar with their procedures and it just comes natural for them, or whether they pre-planned it specifically for my case because they know I'm easy to walk all over and manipulate. Doesn't matter. The point is they got away with whatever they wanted to do because they were obviously trying to do something. Right? And then the last one was where I don't need to sign things. And then they tried to shift the blame on me by saying that I signed in the wrong spot, when in fact it was the lawyer who pointed to say, sign here. She used her finger. Sign here. So I seen it. I said, okay. Whatever, and he was rushing me to read. He wouldn't allow me to read it. He was mocking me, right? Treating me like I was a criminal, and I haven't even gotten out of the fucking gate yet. Threatening me with, well, yeah. Well, it might be more than you. You better do that because you might end up being charged more. Because he said something about something, and I said, well, I don't have a printer. Right? I don't have any money right now. Oh, well, go get a flash drive and go to the library and print it out there. I'm like, yeah, well, that costs money. Well, it might end up costing you more money than you think yet. So you better get on it. That's what he said to me. I'm like, yeah, okay. And she's saying, sign here. So I signed. And then when she goes to get the photocopy, she points out to me that I signed where the judge was. Only because the judge put his signature way up over there and made it so that where his signature was so supposed to be was wide open. And anyway, what it did is it allowed them to do whatever they want without my signature, people. So I figure like this. I'm only one person. I can only do so much in a day. We know I'm not feeling very well. Seriously, people, don't be surprised if I don't end up dead yet. Okay? Because if I end up dead, I'll make sure I'll tell my kids. If I end up fucking dead over this fucking shit, you go up on fucking YouTube. Hold on a minute. My youngest daughter. Mainly my youngest daughter. My oldest son, he's jumping on that GMOI bandwagon, right? Because he's so frustrated with his own damn life that he takes it out on me. So it is what it is, right? But mainly my younger daughter, I'll just tell her if something bad really happens to me and I die, or I end up being like comatose or whatever in the fucking hospital, being tortured to death as they're trying to silence me, who knows? I wouldn't put it past them, people. I'm serious. You know, just fucking put a video up. Mom died. Just mom died. Serious. Because they don't care. They don't care, people. They don't care. And that's why I'm pushing it. Because they never cared about my kids. When Uncle John was in that situation and they were bringing in their code white, call security. The criminals are in the hospital. The terrorists are in the hospital. Code white. Gotta protect Uncle John from teenagers. Gotta protect Uncle John from the children that he loves. So how you think they're gonna treat me when I get in there? And it will be on my deathbed when I go there, because technically I should be going to the doctor. But one, I have no time, because I'm too busy taking care of the city and their taxes, making sure they get their tax base, right? Two, I'm appeasing my landlord just so I don't get kicked out doing house repairs, even though I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. In terms of, I gotta go downstairs and do the cupboards, and I have to do the porch, and I have to do drywall, and, you know, the mold that's above the bathroom up in there, and paint, and whatever, right? Well, paint is okay. I can do the painting, but, you know, just whatever. Just what, the porch, leaky porch. I'm looking forward to the leaky porch. They don't want to fix the porch. They don't want to fix nothing. And I have to take care of my grandson, you know, so the walnut situation is very important to him because he likes to go, right? And like I said, it will be memories that will stay with him for the rest of his life, right? He'll remember those days when he went with his nana to the walnut trees. And because he'll remember that, he just might plant a walnut grove. And that would be good. It will save him from the fucking streets that these people benefit from. Like in this case of my daughter. Why don't they go medically kidnap my daughter and give my daughter some help since they're so interested in protecting people? Seriously, you're fucking hypocrites. So I figure like this. I'm just going to do what I gotta do for today anyway. Which is finish the roof there on that one shed because Mr. Lace's pen is done now. I did that yesterday. Finish that roof after I'm done the walnuts. Go outside. Finish that roof. Finish tidying up a little bit in the back. Since the city was walking around my yard making a fucking list. So, I don't want to give them another reason, right? And then after that, I'm downstairs in the basement, gutting it out, getting it ready for my new grandchild. Right? On top of doing walnuts, laundry, and trying to work on this paperwork, and whatever these people are trying to do in terms of not needing my signature, I mean, obviously that's some shady shit right there. I'm sure if a lawyer was talking to me and trying to help me, an actual lawyer was trying to help me, I'm sure the lawyer would say that's some pretty fucking shady shit. And this Masters was pretty fucking shady because, like I said, they were in queue with each other. They had their ducks in order before I even came in. They knew what they were going to do before I even came in. And the reason she had me sign it in the wrong spot by pointing, oh, sign here, was so that it could confirm that, obviously I was incompetent, right? And therefore, they didn't need my signature in the future because they have another agenda. Just like they had another agenda with John. What they were telling us and what they were doing were two different things. And that's the point of this lawsuit. What they were telling us and what they were doing was two different things. They were telling us that they were just giving him a calcium pill, when in fact they were giving him opiates. That's what they were telling him. Oh no, it's just a calcium pill. Do you want your calcium pill crushed or whole? And they knew that he wouldn't want it crushed. But they misled us to think that they were giving him a calcium pill. So that's why they threw in the word crush. Because apparently you can't crush an OxyContin. They have to be taken whole with food. So they forced him to eat his meals, even though he didn't want it. Because they gave him the OxyContin. That's why some days he couldn't put on his fucking sweater. That's why some days he was so wobbly he couldn't even stand up. Never mind try and walk. Because the OxyContin's kicked in. So I figure, take care of the city, keep working in the yard. I have to still work in the back. But because I'm going underneath the cupboards and I'm going to have to gut them and start building in there, I left that wood out there because I'm going to need some of that wood, right? I'm going to have to tar up this roof with whatever I've got around here. I've got that one roll of tar paper, those little bit of shingles, and whatever asphalt that my neighbor gave me. So I'm going to do that in the next couple of days, right? Get that done with. And I guess when I'm feeling a little secure with that, because you have to remember, people, if I don't do those things, I get attacked by my landlady's daughter-in-law. Well, you said you were going to do that. Well, you said you were going to do that. What have you been doing? You haven't done enough. Right? If that in itself is enough to bring a nervous breakdown onto myself. Right? And I know how the city plays. It plays dirty pool. So I got to just keep up with the yard, because if I don't, the process will just start all over again. As they're plotting to find something else to start up with. I'm sure in the next couple, 2-3 months, there will be something new. I'll be talking about how some outsider has infiltrated my life and has done this to disrupt it, to keep me ranting until I break and I end up dead, until my daughter comes onto YouTube and say, okay, for the naysayers, you won. My mother is finally dead. Thank you very much, Fraser Health Authority and CIBC Bank. And now you're going around robbing people's signatures through trickery, through pressure, through illusion. Sign here. For an ulterior motive to attack women and children. So you can continue to protect the old person that you exploit. only because that old person has money. Because if you go out into the streets and you talk to those old people who are homeless, you're going to hear a different story. Or those young ones that are sick and dying like my daughter that you failed to protect. Because there's nothing to benefit from that. So when I get down to the courthouse, when I do, whatever order this was to remove my signature, I guess I'm going to put an application in to reverse that because that was done under trickery. And that's probably how I'll write it. The lawyer said sign here. I signed there. It made me look like I was incompetent because I signed it where the judge was supposed to sign because the judge made sure that he didn't sign on the line. He signed way up over there. And because I suffer from glaucoma with a PSI of over 50 on a regular basis, unable to get to the doctor, right? You think after I do all this, I want to go walk to the doctor? And even if I was to walk to the doctor, I still would have to wait for a referral. That can take months. So I'm like a walking zombie, people. I'm like a walking zombie. And when I get to the doctors, well, like I said, my file is flagged. It took me 4 years to get a prescription pair of glasses, and when I got them, they didn't work. I qualified for every 3 years, you qualify for a new pair of glasses. 3rd year came along, they wouldn't give it to me. They told me I didn't qualify. 4th year came along, they told me why didn't I come in the 3rd year. I told them I did. They said, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. Anyway, they ended up giving me a prescription pair of glasses into the 4th year, and when I finally got them, I can't use them. So in essence, I've been running around with dollar store glasses for the last 4 years of my life. 5. Going on 6 years of my life, people. So, to do magician trickery with the hand, you know, the hand is faster than the eye. Here, sign here. Oh, okay. Let me read first. Judges, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I signed. And now they're just going to do what they want to do. I don't know what that means. And I checked my email, so whatever email that they're supposed to send me, they haven't sent it to me yet. Whatever orders were passed, I don't know, because I don't have copies of them outside of what I was remembering what happened. So I'm a sitting duck, basically. We've always been a sitting duck. The minute Uncle John went into the hospital, we became sitting ducks. And now that is coming to light. You're starting to see what kind of sitting ducks we've really been. How about that? Uncle John goes to the hospital, we become sitting ducks, and now the truth around that sitting duck matter is coming to light. You can see how easily we are just sitting ducks. Okay, people, I know I said I wasn't going to do this in terms of walk you through what I'm doing in a day when it comes to yard work or, in this case, house repairs. Okay? This wood is the original floor of this porch. Anyway, that's down into my garage. You can see that it's rotting out in here. It's rotting out, people, so I don't know. Like, seriously, I'm being told not to use the porch, basically. Like, they don't want to fix it. They're saying that this over here is what's causing the problem, when in fact that's not true, because this thing was leaking from this when I moved in. The water was pooled in here when I moved in, just like this crap looks like this on this side, because these things are not put on correctly, and it's old. That's what it is, people. It's old, right? You can see it's leaning, right? Because there's nothing supporting it. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's going to need some more flooring. The old wood is going to have to come off. Otherwise, by the end of this winter, this is just rotten wood. Okay, this is the stuff. This is the old cedar flooring that's falling onto the plastic because somebody took just cheap plywood, put it down on the thing, put this stuff over it, put the plastic over underneath because it was starting to fall through. This hid that fact, right? And nobody's going to want to pull that plastic down in the garage there because of whatever's in it, but whatever. And so it's, you know, it's just been getting progressively worse. It's all rotten in here. You know, it's all rotten. This is all rotten. So there's a piece of plywood in here that needs to be, probably the whole porch needs to be covered again, people. Coming into dust. That's what it is. Okay? So in the meantime, I'm just going to do what I can do because I'll have my neighbor look at that anyway. Right? I'm just getting it ready. Okay? And I do have bits and pieces of plywood around the yard, and I don't know about any more. Actually, I do have some 4x4s that are longer than that, and there are some repairs that can be done, at least as best as the ability that can be done. So in the meantime, I'm just going to work on this part. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to take a putty knife. Not a putty knife. Another utility knife. I'm going to scrape off the old, what's it called? Silicone. I'm going to lay down tarp. I showed you. I'm going to staple it down and I'm going to get that ready. I'm not going to silicone it until this is figured out. Hold on. Okay, so I washed it and getting it ready. This over here, this old porch cover from down the road. I've had it for a year or two now. I've already used it at the bottom of Mr. Lace's pen in terms of the floor, and it works pretty good. As you can see, my son put a piece up there. Anyway, I'm washing this piece. I've got another piece, and I'm fixing up this roof today. And this I'm just putting on tarp. Hold on.
Yeah. Come on.
Is it recording?
Yes.
What's Nana doing?
Going on the roof.
To do what?
To fix it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it leaks. I washed it, people. Underneath it. Washed all this already.
No, I can't hold it. I need to watch my show.
Okay. Turn it off.
Okay, people. So now I did the thing up here. So you can see. Now it's just right there. By the shed. Wait, you can't see, right? Ooh. No. She's just walking up. But Jerry with this.
Hard stuff is done now.
Keep talking now. There's Sky, my beautiful kitty, climbing up the fence.
Shimmy? Am I going to get that rent? out at any point, like next tomorrow or something?
Now, Sky! You just keep jumping up!
Yeah, they will.
Hey, look at this. That's also on that.
That would be good because the more I go out low right now today, the more I can get done, right? You know what I mean? I only got a few days to
Bye-bye. Okay, so I'll show you what else. So you see that. We just have lots of stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else we did.
Probably tomorrow here.
We have a little plant. And I'll show you something else. See that? See this, people? Ah. Alright.
Tomorrow I'm going to finish out here in the back because I've done the roofs both. Cupboards, we'll start looking for wood.
Right, I'll be back. People, so here's the hole. You see, so this is really old. This wood. There's a hole, cause that's why this is wobbly, right now.
Yeah.
So we can't move it. We can't break it either. You know why, people? You know why we can't break it? Because the whole thing will come down right now.
Yeah, but it needs to be repaired.
The porch will come down. We'll just have nothing. We'll have no porch. Just have a, let's say, no, we don't have a porch.
That's an old porch, Andre.
Yeah, we have an old porch. You know how old it is? It's really old.
Yeah, very old. That's the problem. We need a new porch.
You see, the blue sky's gone. Oh, wait.
It will fall down before the landlords fix it.
No! I can still see the blue sky. The camera. So we have a. So you see, we're just we don't want to waste hydro right now.
What?
Don't want to waste hydro.
Okay, that's enough. Turn off now. Okay.
Bye-bye.
It takes
That's it. It will take too long, bro. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a good guy. See that cut?
crying out loud.